All right, I finally figured out a good way to make this, and I wanted to clear it with you before I made it. And this way, also, you can see what you're buying and make sure you get the right press. You asked for it to be compatible with B tooling. So I started with some B tools that I already had drawn up. These are multi-tips, but that's okay. They're the same dimensions as a standard B tool. So whatever die, whatever B die and B tools that you have, like for your beta press, would bolt in here. I've got you a little bit of it like a die table, so you could pour some powder on there. And then you asked about some adjustability for depth of fill. I kind of think in a prototype situation or an R&D situation, you're going to weigh the powder out and then have the lower punch all the way at the bottom, and then pour the correct amount of powder in before compacting it. But if you wanted to do it with volume, like a production press would do it, then you could adjust. I've got these pieces at the bottom. They're threaded, and so I've extended the threaded rods out through the bottom, and then you could spin those down, and by spinning those down, this lower punch would fall down, and that would create a larger cavity inside the die, so you could measure out your powder by volume. I think it would work, even though we don't want any pressure to go on those. But when you put this in the press, the force is going to come down on the upper punch through the material into the lower punch, and really these are only going to be there for depth of fill adjustment. At the end, when the part is made, you would then take this out, put a block underneath the head, and then press down here, and that's going to shove the punch up through the die and eject the part. I fixed that lower punch in place on this model over here. It is better. But imagine that you had a block underneath there. When you press down up here, then this is going to shove the lower punch up and eject the part. So it's a pretty simple design. It works for both. The way that I got by with the larger tablet for the whole thing that got this started is just to make a deeper die. The die groove is in the same spot, but the die is deeper. So that means the lower punch is deeper as well. And I don't know, I haven't talked to Bob yet. He may end up putting a head on it like it is a B tool, just because that's all he makes. But he doesn't need a head on it for what we're trying to do over here. So I just drew it up as a straight barrel. Yeah, I think we're ready to actually make this thing. Let me know if you have any questions or objections. Oh, you need a 12-inch tall press. That's how much opening you'll need. I think that's it. So thank you.